All right, we'll call this meeting on May the 10th, 2022, on this gorgeous day, to order of the Colerain Township Community Improvement Corporation. We'll start with roll call, and I have no idea who does that. Mr. Miller, Mr. Springsteen?
I will do that.
Okay.
Our secretary, yes.
Mr. Unger?
Here.
Mr. Waller?
Here.
Ms. Ulrich?
Here.
All right, we're all here. Three.
There should be more members called on the roll.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you need to call Mr. Miller and Mr. McElravy.
Mr. McElravy? Here. Mr. Miller?
Here.
And then I am here.
All right, there we go. Sorry, trying to get back into the swing of things. So, all right, first we have approval of minutes. You've been provided in your meeting packet with minutes from the March 8th, 2022 meeting. At this point, are there any motions? Well, I'll motion to approve the minutes from the March 8th, 2022 meeting. Are there any seconds?
I'll second.
Any discussion?
None.
Okay, Mr. Unger?
Yes.
Mr. Waller?
Yes.
Ms. Ulrich?
Yes.
Mr. McElravy? Yes. Mr. Miller?
Yes.
And I vote yes.
So, no, I think we do, if I recall this, only the 3 votes, right?
No,
No, okay, we do on the minutes, okay. Again, trying to get back in the swing of things. All right, number 3 is citizens' address. I don't think we have a mechanism to sign up, but certainly citizen address is something I want on the meeting agenda for the CIC. Are there any citizen comments? Yes, ma'am?
There was one back there, yes. Sorry, I thought.
What's that?
There was one back there.
Oh, okay. All right, that's right.
Good evening, Board. I have a couple questions this evening. I see that you are appointing a new member to the CIC. I was wondering if the 3 seated trustees can tell me who that is?
Yes, we've had 2 resumes, including yourself and Mr., I'm going to pronounce his name wrong. Morovich, yeah.
Okay, thank you. And I'd also like to compliment whoever wrote the minutes from the last CIC meeting. They're very detailed, organized, and a lot of information can be gained from those. So whoever wrote those, kudos to you. And with the new board member coming on, that will be, I'm assuming, a resident, will they be voting on matters?
So that's open for discussion. I think that our intent was to have it as a non-voting member. I think that once we explore this, but we probably will be re-exploring it. Once we explored it last year when we went over kind of reorganization, the suggestion was made from the community, and I think that then we agreed, maybe that's changed, that the 3 voting members should be the 3 elected members.
Okay, thank you so much.
Mm-hmm. All right, any other? All right, new business. We have some financial statements from Q1 2022.
Yes, good evening. It's a pretty quiet month for the Community Improvement Corporation in the pretty quiet quarter, I should say, for the first quarter of 2022. There were 2 transactions, 2 payments that were made in the quarter. The first was for the preparation of the 2021 financial statements to Plattenberg CPAs for $300. The second was for our directors and officers insurance with CNA Insurance for $980. Opening balance for the year was $66,037.31, and the closing balance at the end of the quarter is $64,757.31.
Is that complete?
Yes.
I would motion that we accept the financial statements from the first quarter, 2022.
I'll second.
All right, any discussion?
None.
None.
Okay. Mr. Unger?
Yes.
Mr. Waller?
Yes.
Ms. Ulrich?
Yes.
Mr. McElravy?
Yes.
Mr. Miller?
Yes.
And then I am yes.
All right, item 4, motion for appointment of additional board member. Are you going to handle that introduction, I guess? Or?
I will do that.
Okay.
So the Colerain Township CIC has received 2 resumes, as you mentioned, and we received 1 application over our website through the process with that. And I would make a recommendation that the board approve the appointment of Dave Moravec as an additional board member to the CIC.
All right, any motions?
I motion that we appoint Dave Moravec as a member of the CIC.
I second.
All right, discussion?
I think he's going to be a great attribute to Colerain and strengthen our community relationship with the Chamber of Commerce. No.
Any other discussion?
Well, he's not a member of the board until we vote, right?
Yeah, he's not,
That is correct.
yeah. Any other discussion?
Not from me.
Mr. Unger?
Yes.
Mr. Waller?
Yes?
Ms. Ulrich?
Yes.
Mr. McElravy?
Yes.
Mr. Miller?
Yes.
And then I am a yes as well.
All right, the next item we have, I will bear this out with a little bit of introduction. It's the discussion of offers for purchase of CIC-owned properties. Mr. Miller, you'll probably handle that. But the one thing that I indicated that I wanted all those months ago when we did this is that the bids be blind. As a result, I understand that that's kind of slowed some of the process down for records requests and stuff, because if we release that at that point, they're no longer blind. So I thought it would be important that not attach a name or identity to who it was, and that we were choosing offers based upon the merits of the offers. So that's created some problems internally, and I apologize for that. I still think it's better that they're blind so that we can avoid any kind of issues later. So that said, why don't you handle the introduction, sir?
Thank you, Mr. President. So I have distributed a spreadsheet, as you had stipulated, that is blind. We have two assets that are currently owned by the CIC, and they are vacant lots. The first being at 8725 Planet Drive in Colerain, and then the second lot is 2684 Winning Road. We have received we have advertised the offers in a variety of ways, and we have asked anyone that was interested to submit an offer to us with no stipulation as to what that amount might be in the floor or the ceiling, of course. And we ask what purpose that would be, so that you might be able to determine what the highest and best use of that asset might be as we sell it. So I have prepared a spreadsheet with those offers divided by the two various lots. We had 3 offers on the Planet Drive vacant lot, and we had 4 offers on the Winning Road. And we'll take the Planet Drive first. For the vacant lot of 8725 Planet Drive, the first offer is at $2,500. The proposal was to build a home and live across the street from my mom. Not my mom, but the builder's mom. Offer number 2 was a $1,000 offer. The purpose was to build a small residential property to provide affordable housing. And then offer number 3 was $850 to build a 3-bedroom ranch house.
I think it's appropriate we do divide the question as you indicate, and first we'll entertain any motion on offers for purchase of 8725 Planet Drive.
Can we ask a question first before we?
Sure, if you want to vote a question first before.
So, did you talk to are you the one who's got these 3 offers?
I did receive them, and I have talked to all 3 of those bidders.
Does the high bid seem likely they're going to follow through with it, or?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm trying not to.
I realize there's no way to.
No, I'm just asking also, so with all of the bids, did we require financial disclosures or proof of funds?
We did not.
I'm just asking, okay.
Good question.
Mr. Miller, on the build it, and I don't know that this matters, it's the lowest offer, but just for clarification's sake, and I don't know if I can answer this with it being blind, build a 3-bedroom ranch house, and it applies to the next item as well, build a 3-bedroom ranch house. Do we know if that's owner occupied? Is that indicated?
I pretty much did a copy and paste, just again for brevity, and I do believe that the intention is to build the home, to put someone in the home as an owner occupied.
Clearly for Planet, that's the indication, and then when we get to winning, I think it's
Yeah.
maybe a little bit more of a opaque question, so.
So is there going to be a timeline for this to happen if we should approve one of these three?
We can stipulate that timeline if we choose a particular offer and prepare a contract for that.
And I'll defer to Kathy's knowledge. So if we were to accept one of these offers, what would be a reasonable timeline for them to close on the lot?
Well, depending on the title search and the availability to transfer title, because I don't know where you are in the legal ramifications of all of that. I don't know if you've got clear title that you can close in 2 weeks, 30 days.
Right. The CIC does have clear title. to
Okay,
it.
then there should be no more than a 30-day.
No more. That would be easy. Just, again, draw up the contract, stipulate in there what the board prefers.
Because you would want to arrange it with the title company,
Would it-
close
would it-
anyway.
Would it be reasonable to close by June 30th then, let's say?
Oh, absolutely.
But that would be my favor then. That way it gives them
Yeah.
5 or 6 weeks to,
Yeah, we can
6 weeks to
just
do it.
stipulate that.
So can I go ahead and make a motion?
Sure.
Yes, sir.
I would motion that we sell 8725 Planet Drive to purchase offer number 1 for $2,500 with the stipulation that they close and take assignment to the property by June 30th of 2022.
I'm going to second that because I do like that he's loving living in the neighborhood and it's it's an owner occupied and by his mom. I think that's awesome. So I second the motion to sell to number 1.
May not even be a he.
Sorry.
And you'll be able to craft it that way.
That is correct.
Closed by the close of business on June 30th.
Right. And do you, that would be Mr. Solomon. But would you like to stipulate anything else relative to the timeline to?
Do we want them to put an earnest money check down before, to hold it until the 30th?
And if their financial terms, if they're paying cash, I'm hoping they're paying cash.
It'll just be deducted, so.
Well, you still have to write that in a purchase contract.
Right.
If it's cash, if they're not paying cash and have to take a loan out, they have to have a
Right.
pre-approval loan, and you're not going to get one for
Well,
that.
for you're right, for,
Nobody's going to give you a loan that low.
So what would that be, a percentage, Matt? Or
yeah, like, I don't know, whatever, like
500 to
250 or 500 or something, just a good faith deposit, I think.
I would say 500,
Okay.
which is 20%, which I'm looking at whatever we decide on the next one.
That's a great, yeah.
Is that reasonable?
And no
20%?
contingencies on building orders or what they can build on. It's straight out cash, no contingencies, correct?
Sure,
When they're buying it, they're buying it.
right.
All right, so we have a motion in front of the board now. Let me just kind of review so that we know. To accept offer number 1 for $2,500 to build a home and live across the street from my mom on not my mom, Mr. Miller's mom, 8725 Planet Drive. And there will be 2 contingencies. It must be closed by end of business June 30th. And within 7 days, there'll be a $500 earnest money deposit that would be non-refundable if it doesn't close.
And I don't think we should have any contingencies about building orders or.
Yeah, no contingencies on the contract. So that's actually the motion in front of the board now. Are there any other discussion anybody wants to add to that?
Not for me.
Not for me.
All right, we'll go ahead and call the question, sir.
Mr. Unger?
Yes.
Mr. Waller?
Yes.
Ms. Ulrich?
Yes.
Mr. McElravy?
Yes.
Mr. Miller?
Yes.
And I am yes.
All right, that passes 6-0, and that 8725 Planet Drive goes to bidder number 1. And Mr. Miller, you can inform him of the good news tomorrow.
They won.
I will do that.
All right, next we move on to 2684 Winning Road.
All right, on the second vacant lot on Winning Road, we received 4 offers. The first being a $3,000 offer. The resident wanted to create and maintain a community garden and urban green space. Offer number 2 was for $1,000. Purpose was to build a house to blend in with the other homes in the area, maybe a first-time home buyer. Offer 3 was a $1,000 offer to build a nice house that is handicap accessible. And then offer number 4 was an $8,185 offer to build a 3-bedroom ranch house around 1,200 square feet.
Sounds like a no-brainer to me.
And you've talked to these
I have.
4 offerers?
Yes.
I don't know if I can ask if, that's probably not a fair question, but I'll ask it. Is any of the 1, 2, 3, 4 the same as the people that made offers on the other one?
There are similar
I mean, it's the same person?
offers for both properties, yes.
Okay,
But they're not all the same, obviously.
right.
So basically, Wenning is, all 4 offers are going to be non-owner occupied. They're going to be rentals, basically. Nobody wants to, besides the community garden, the other 3 are.
Well, offer 2 said maybe a first-time home buyer.
That's what gave me the idea that they're going to flip it, sell it,
Yeah,
yeah, rent it,
that, again,
yeah, all right.
sounds that way. It would be an owner-occupy, I think he's
Okay,
I would think that if someone wants to invest $8,185 in it, that they're probably gonna build it and not sit on it as a vacant lot. To put that kind of money into that lot. So I will go ahead and motion that we accept offer number 4 for $8,185 for 2684 Wenning Road.
I'll second that.
Right, and I think we want to add, do we want to add similar contingencies, 30 day, by June 30th?
20% down.
20%, which is
Same contingency.
1636. My math is correct.
Within 7 days.
Within 7 days.
This all sound all right, Scott?
All right, any other questions, comments?
And not from me.
All right, sir, we'll go ahead and call the question.
Mr. Unger?
Yes.
Mr. Waller?
Yes.
Ms. Ulrich?
Yes,
Mr. McElravy?
Yes.
Mr. Miller?
yes.
And then I'm yes.
All right, that passes 6-0 to bidder number 4, $8,185 to build a 3-bedroom ranch house around 1,200 square feet with a 20% earnest money within 7 days and close into business June 30th. All right,
I do have something else before.
Mr. Unger has something else?
So we were talking about the appointment of a new member, whether that would be a voting member or not.
Right, yeah, and we're going to go back, yeah. We on item B. I think right now in the bylaws, it's a non-voting member, if I'm not mistaken.
I just think it'd be an idea to have an odd number of voting members in case we would ever get in the middle of, although I guess you need a majority to carry, and if it's a tie, then whatever it is doesn't pass.
So at this point, would you like to make a motion to make Mr. Morosic a voting member?
Along with so instead of 6, there would be 7. So we would, all 7 be voting members.
All right, is that a motion?
I motion that, that all 7 members, which would be the number of members, would be eligible voting members to decide any issues that come before the Community Improvement Corporation. So each member would have 1 vote, and it would have to be in person.
Second?
as long as there's nothing in our bylaws right now that's prohibiting us from doing that. There's none?
There are none.
Okay.
There are no prohibitions.
And so would we, and if there is, would this motion amend those bylaws?
They would not amend the bylaws. Your motion does not amend the bylaws.
Right.
It comports with the bylaws.
Okay.
So,
And
okay.
just a note that there is no residency requirement either. I did read that again today.
Thank you.
All right, any other questions with regard to Mr. Unger's motion?
None.
So at this point, we'll go ahead and call the question, sir?
Mr. Unger?
Yes.
Mr. Waller?
No?
Ms. Ulrich?
Yes.
That passes 2-1. So Mr. Morovic will be a... Moravec, yeah.
Don't they get a vote?
Oh,
too?
sorry.
Yes, I'm sorry.
I'm still stuck in
I know.
Trusteeville, yeah. Sorry.
Mr. McElravy?
Yes.
Mr. Miller?
Yes.
And then I'm yes.
All right, so it passes 5-1. Thanks for pointing out that I'm even more outnumbered in my vote. Mr. Dave will be a voting member. and I'll practice that over vacation. All right, are there any other items of business?
Not from me.
Before we motion for adjournment, I just have to say hello to my mom, who's now recovering from knee replacement and watching this. I don't know what probably was worse for her, me running this meeting or the knee replacement, but love you, Mom, and get well soon. And at this chance, I would entertain a motion for adjournment.
She'll get better from the knee replacement.
Before she gets better from watching this, I agree.
No other comments.
I'll second the motion.
Well, so we need a motion for adjournment.
I motion.
Okay, yeah, you need a second.
Yes.
All right,
Motion.
Mr. Unger,
Yes.
Mr. Waller,
yes.
Ms. Ulrich.
Yes.
Mr. McElravy,
Yes.
Mr. Miller,
Yes.
and then I am yes.
All right, that motion carries 6-0, and we adjourn at 5:52. Stay tuned for
8 minutes.
part 2, 8 minutes from now.